So alternatively, I offer the third way of seeing it and seeing all things that 20 years. I call it conditioned centralization. And the idea is simple. A central state is the right goal for Afghanistan. There's no question about that. It must be a centrality. But the central authority does not run itself. It only becomes real when four things that I propose are in place. That's the fundamental of states: force, finance, legitimacy, and time. To start with force, a state doesn't control a state that doesn't control the violence inside its own borders and sovereignty isn't really a state at all. What happened at the Bonn 2001 agreement? We never disarmed the militias. We just absorbed them commanders, becoming governors, then ministers, and then parliamentarians. And they kept very old loyalty intact. So across much of the country, ordinary people never actually met the national government. They met the local commanders wearing the state's clothes. And our army, of course, leaned so hard on American air power, American intelligence, and American logistics that the day those supports pulled away, the strength went with them. We didn't own our forces. Unfortunately, we rented it. So then comes the finance. And here is the thing about taxation. It wasn't never really about the money. A state that taxes its own people has to answer to them. A state that funded from abroad answers abroad, and ours took the overwhelming shares of its budget from donors, not from Afghans. So it leans to look upward to Washington's, London, and Brussels instead of downwards to its own citizens. And this is why I'll say something that might sound strange to some. Our corruption was never only a moral failure, it was structural. When government office become the doorway to foreign aid and contracts, corruption isn't a flaw in the machine. It is the machine. So it went deeper into the budget. So much of the help arrived through donors programs that run alongside the states rather than through the state. And Afghans learned very rationally to navigate programs rather than just institutions themselves in a state. Development flowed around the state as easily as flowed through it. And that people learn, obviously, to go through the state they never quite needed. And third is as important, the legitimacy. Ours is deeply religious. The society is deeply religious, and local society, of course, needs to work alongside. And no state earns authority here through constitution alone, especially historically speaking. It had to be work with people society already trust: the ulamas, the elders, the jirgas, and the shoras.